I introduce? Right now?
Yeah, right now.
Hello,
Right
everybody. Now. Welcome to the Dutch Boys Show, starring Michelle J. Cosper and Dutch.
What's up, guys? It's great to see you. After a weekend absence, we're back for the weekend. We're gonna get going here. I'm gonna go ahead. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and call my shot. I'm gonna go ahead and just call it in the air right now, pointing out
what are we doing?
Into the outfield. We are going to win a tournament this weekend. I feel it. I feel it.
Feel it in your bones.
I feel it in my bones. I feel it. Here we go. We're gonna start with this $10 rebuy and add-on, the 2K guaranteed. We're all familiar with it, but let's go through and let's look at it, shall we? Let's look at the lobby before we load it up. Talk about some of the peculiarities of this tournament. This is the 2K guaranteed. It's already started. It starts at 6:30 every night. You can see a couple of the regulars here. Bronson Ellie is a guy who I think sometimes hangs out on our stream. B. Shrever. Bobby McLaw. What else we got here? A couple of Turn the Nuts. Imga. We got some Sly Poker Girl. We got some of the regulars on wsop.com. And plenty more to come. You got 89 people who have started this tournament, 85 remaining after 30 minutes. The blinds are still pretty small. You start with 4,000 chips, and then you click the rebuy button for another 4,000 chips. And eventually, after an hour and a half, we get add-ons in here. And the add-ons, if you click on this tournament info, does that come up? No, we got to show the tournament info. Here is the structure sheet, the tournament information sheet for the 2K guarantee that we're about to jump into. Late reg. We got 90 cents out of every $10 coming out, so reasonable rake, less than 10%. The rebuy and the add-on are also raked, so that's kind of a pain in the ass, but so it goes. So it goes. And the things to notice here, well, one thing to notice is just how small these increases are. I mean, look at that, going from 50, 100 to 60, 120. The next one's kind of a big increase, but for the most part, you're never going to see more than a third increase throughout the whole tournament. So very even. Blinds increase every 10 minutes, which isn't that much in a live tournament, but online it's not so bad. I mean, you're looking at an orbit and a half, going through. So it's really not too bad of levels, especially for a $10 tournament. I mean, look at this increase right here, going from 1,400 2,800 to 1,500 3,000. I mean, that is such a tiny little increase. It's kind of funny because you go from 1,400 to 1,500, an increase of 1/14th. And then you look at here, 600, 1,200 to 800, 1,600, an increase of 1/3. So, we talk a little bit about how you need to change gears in tournaments and how, going from level 19 to level 20, for example, you need to be a hell of a lot more active in level 20 than you do in level 19. You're going to see, small blind to ante ratios all over the place, 5-to-1, 6-to-1, 4-to-1. I don't know that we ever see 3-to-1. Yeah, I don't think that we ever see quite 3-to-1. I think that as heavy as it's going to get is about this 4-to-1 ratio, right? Right here, and mainly it's 5-to-1, 6-to-1. So you don't have to be quite as aggressive as some other blind structures. You still have to take your fair share and then some. And then another thing to notice is this add-on. So a lot of tournaments, especially here on wsop.com, are going to have a double add-on. I actually think that every tournament that's a rebuy and add-on should have a double add-on, just to really promote people to stick around and stay in the tournament. The heavier that add-on is compared to the initial buy-in, the bigger a mistake it is not to stick around for it. having it 4,500 as opposed to the initial buy-in of 4,000 chips, it's just not that big of a mistake to just take one bullet here. So unlike the $30 3K guaranteed that we're going to be jumping into in a couple of minutes, we're not going to bony fish people who don't stick around for the add-on period.
Oh, we're not? Okay.
Not for the 2K guaranteed. Not for the 2K guaranteed. If you are on a limited bankroll, if you have less than $200 in your wsop.com account, you're probably better off taking 20 shots at this thing than taking every rebuy and add-on opportunity and just going in for one bullet. Probably better off doing that. So,
yes.
Without further ado,
Are you
do
loading
this.
up? Are you loading up and starting?
Without further ado, let's do it.
And
here we go.
And hello to the crew.
Register.
Good to see you guys. Joe Kalowski.
And
Chinch Jog.
right away.
WFKs.
Right away,
Money
we're going to
Miser.
go and take the add-on.
Nice.
Or the rebuy. I like starting with the double chips.
Nice. Are you doing both? You're doing both of them then?
Yeah, we'll do both of them. I'll jump into the $30 rebuy and add-on here in a second.
Okie dokie.
Let's just start with this right now. Just start with the 2K guaranteed. And I'll jump into the 3K guaranteed here in a second. I'll go through the same structure spiel before jumping down. But first, let's do some shout outs. We got
Duck on
we got
Quack.
some of the crew hanging out with us. So it's great
Quacky
to see you
Duck.
guys. Duck on Quack.
Quack. That's the best kind of quack.
Duck on Quack. That's funny.
It is. It's actually pretty cute. Good. That's a clever name.
Yeah.
I like that.
Good to see you in the stream. And we've got WFKS, world famous Kelly Steele. Good to see you. Money Miser. Great to see you, Money Miser. And Joe Cos chilling out with us on this Thursday night. Always a pleasure to see you, Joe. Hope to see you this summer. You coming out for the series this summer, Joe? We got Albino 2004. Good evening, all. Good evening to you, Albino. Always a pleasure. B-Trail. All is good with the universe after all, he says. Welcome back. Yeah, it was a weekend off working on a little side project. I don't really want to talk about it just yet. It's kind of secret. It's not really poker related, but if any of you guys
don't worry, I'll try to get him off of this project.
She's going to try to get me off of it.
And pay the toll.
But I feel like I'm going to make the call. Pay the toll. Good to see you.
I don't know.
Exmo, is that you?
That's me.
It is.
We're here. Dutch, can you tell the crew how much you missed me while you were gone?
I did miss you. I
I did not have enough time.
You know what?
Alone.
9-10 suited. We're getting 3-1. We got 3-1 plus another 4-1 implied odds because RKCLV probably has a monster hand. Probably going to get it in there. So 7-1 on a 9-10 suited. Let's do it.
Are you shoving there?
God. No, we're going to go ahead and make the call.
We have 9-10.
Now what?
What do you have?
Now we have the problem with reverse implied odds. Now we actually kind of hit our hand. We've got some outs.
We have a resub
something
here.
happened too. Let me see. I don't have the alert up.
Oh
my gosh. There it is. WFKS. 8 months in a row, guys. Can we show them some love?
Let's
what
get
do I
some
do
fist
here?
bumps in there.
You know, now the problem is we kind of hit our hand, but might not have the kind of might not have any outs. We might be looking at ace king.
Gosh.
If not, then we're probably looking at like ace queen or ace jack. I just don't really think that we have as many outs as it would appear here. So I'm going to go ahead and let this one go and say that this queen jack 10, even though it kind of looks like it hit us, didn't hit us. Didn't hit us, and we're not really getting the right odds to make a 2-1 call. No, we're going to make the fold here. We got 5% for the runner flush draw. Maybe we have maybe we have 8 outs, but I don't think we do. I think it's I think it's pretty likely that our KCLV is sitting there with an ace. And if he has ace king, then we're drawing stone cold dead to our flush. So 19-1 is what we'd need to be getting. We're getting 2-1. A little bit of a loose call to see a flop, but hey, it's the rebuy period. Let's do it. Vice Chick chilling out with us. It's great to see you, Vice Chick. And thank you for the warm welcome back. C-Mac is also saying, welcome home.
Oh, yes. Welcome home, Dutch.
You too good for your home?
Oh, and we saw the We had an eventful day today.
Yeah, we did. You want to tell them about it?
We went to see Joe Biden and Lady Gaga talk about, what is sexual harassment?
Sexual assault.
Sexual assault.
Mainly, it was
campus.
Joe Biden talking.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga didn't really say much.
She did share her. She somewhat shared her story and about her own experiences a little bit, not in details, but
she sang a little song about sexual assault.
She wrote a song about it.
Well, not on the spot.
Did she write? No, but did she write that song? She did, right? Just for that.
Her song, yeah.
Very, very traumatic experience for
how you
those
don't know how
women.
It feels to go through that kind of thing unless you've been through that kind of thing.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we know of, and I have been a victim in those kind of bad situations, so it kind of touched me in a way.
4-1. Let's see it. It's pretty much the same arguments that we have for the 9-10 suited. Although I would suggest to you that the implied odds are stronger with that 9-10 suited than they are here with the 7-8 of hearts. Ace is up. It's great to see you.
We have a slight echo. They said it's a slight echo on your side. Is yours a little louder? Is your gain up?
No, my gain's fine.
Okay. I wonder if mine's okay. Is it supposed to be in the middle? The gain? It's in the middle.
It's supposed to be in the middle.
But anyway, so it was a good speech, and I recommend anyone who hasn't seen him do the speech, I highly recommend watching it. I think it might be on YouTube. I'm going to look for a link later and post it on Twitter, Facebook. It was very good, though, Dutch, huh?
Yeah.
Like, Joe Biden is a really good speaker.
I thought he was great.
Surprisingly so, very charismatic and very, very passionate about the cause. We should make everyone take the pledge, Dutch. And be responsible.
Yeah, so Joe Biden, he was great, very charismatic, had a lot of swagger, and he got up, and after how long would you say that speech was? About a half-hour speech?
I don't know how long it was. It was pretty good, though. I mean, it was very moving. He shared a lot of experiences about other women who have been victimized, and it is very good. Very sad.
It was a great speech. It was sad, too, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he made us all take a pledge, which I take very seriously.
And it's about society and about how society treats women. And it was really good. Like he was a public defender, and he had some cases that were just horrendous. And yeah, like I said, you guys got it.
Horrible call by Imga. I mean, I don't understand how you can make that call. Imga must have put Nutch on absolutely nothing. Ace King or Ace Queen.
Did he not rebuy either?
I mean, he called off for everything with a pair of sevens. I mean, basically bottom pair, top kicker, taking all sorts of heat. I could kind of understand making the call if you're planning on just rebuying anyway, but it doesn't look like that's what Imga did. It looks like he's gone. It looks like he's done with it. So yeah, that was a pretty bad call from Imga. I feel like I wish that he was still here so I could you know what? I think I can actually write notes in the history here because that's deserving of a note. I can. Collins Station. Wow. Called off his whole stack with 8-7 on a Jack 10 9-7 board. I mean, how do you do that? It was multi-way too. You know, it wasn't like Nitch and him were alone on that flop. They saw the flop 4-way. You know, Nitch had to love that he was getting action on his hand, and I think that Nitch firing out on the end is definitely the right move there. He can't just he can't really put Imga on the 8. And if Imga does have the 8, then Imga's going to is going to bet the stack anyway. So definitely one of those spots where you just go ahead and fire, just fire and hope to get called by worse. Well, the 9 hits a lot of hands there. The King Queen got there, but the Jack 10 is going to definitely pay you off. The 9 also scares a lot of a lot of hands which would value bet. So I like Nutch making the value bet there on the end. But man, that call, you guys. Man, that call. Ugh. Oh, wow. Paul Daywald is chilling out with us. Paul Daywald, good to see you, man. He says he was going to join on the Twitch grind tonight, but he walked into their place and it smells like gas. So we're now waiting on Southwest to show up. Hit me up when you're done with the session. Okay. You did the right thing. You did the right thing.
Yeah, we have a little detector for carbon monoxide, but we don't have to worry about it. But I hear horror stories all the time.
Yeah. Got Grinding and Ground chilling out with us. Good to see you, man. Hope everything's good with you. It's good to be back in Vegas. And we definitely have to grab some dinner here pretty soon with Grinding and Ground. WFKS, I gotta say, man. Oh my gosh, something just happened. Something just happened. WFKS just donated $8.88. Thanks for the entertainment and info. I'm still a donk, but not as bad as I was 8 months ago. WFKS, man. Thank you very much for the donation, for keeping the stream going. It's awesome to have you as part of the crew, as part of the community.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I really do. I really appreciate that. Okay, so PokerStud5 has a question.
Okay.
I want to talk about. He says, "Hey, Dutch and Michelle. Hope you guys are doing well. Just a little note for everybody watching. Michelle actually just has one L in her name. One L.
Yeah.
So
Michelle with one L. That's how you remember it, guys.
Yeah, Michelle with one L.
That's how I remember it.
That's how I remember it.
Doesn't bother me, guys.
Hope you guys are doing well. Question for you. If I'm trying to grind and make enough to play the main event during the summer, if I'm a winning player at 1-3 and 2-5, do I have a better chance of grinding up $10,000 playing cash or playing casino weeklies such as 15,000, 25,000, and 50,000 guarantees? Obviously cash, right? Yeah, I would say you probably have a better chance doing it in cash. I mean, if you're a winning player at 2-5, no limit. Wow, what are we doing here? Kreger firing out half pot. And I'm not going to just auto give him credit for a bigger ace. Let's go ahead and take a turn card and see. RKCLV also in here. This might get a little bit of this might get expensive, you guys. This might get expensive. I mean, are we going to go ahead and fire out? I'm not convinced that I have the best hand. Let's go ahead and just check back. Well, 5 on the end, so now we're not beating any of the ace rags. Ace 4, ace 3, ace 5, ace 6, and ace 7 all are ahead of us. And the 8-9 got there. So, yeah, RKCLV betting out a full pot size bet. I think I'm going to go ahead and give it up. It's just a pair. It's just a weak pair. Weak-ass kicker. Good pair, weak-ass kicker. So 2-5 no limit. I feel like you can, if you're a winning player, you can be doing $25-30 an hour there. If you're like the best player in the room, in town at 2-5, then maybe you can do $55 an hour. That's going to be about the extent of it. 1-3 no limit. Maybe you can do $15-20 an hour. So how many? You can do the math. It's going to take a lot of hours to grind up 10,000. I'll tell you too. The problem is when you do that, you're still looking at biting off a huge chunk of your bankroll to play a tournament. I mean, if you do grind up $10,000, let's say that you have a $15,000 roll, and you're like, you know what? I can't really spend $10,000 out of my $15,000 roll playing the main event. Well, it doesn't really change much when you have a $25,000 roll and you're thinking about spending almost half of it, 40% of your roll on the main event. That doesn't really make a lot of sense either. I think that your best bet, PokerStud5, is to try to sell action in the event, or maybe play some satellites. I think that's probably the best route to the main event. I mean, even when you win a satellite, though, you're still in that same dilemma where you're just overexposed. No matter how you look at it, you win a satellite, you still have a $10,000 seat that's $10,000 worth of value that you're just biting off on your own. So I would say sell action. Sell action. That was a big piece of news this week, guys. I don't know if you saw that. Usteak.com bought tastysteaks.com. Brought in Andrew Welch, the CEO of Tasty Steaks, on as their CTO. Andrew Welch is a cool guy. I met him this last summer. He kind of showed me under the hood over at Tasty Steaks, and I think that they're definitely added to their organization over there. Getting someone who knows a little bit about user interface design and PHP. Anyway, I think that it's a good merger, and it spells good things. It's interesting to see
what they're gonna do with their brand. Did we get all the new resubs? I think we got a few resubs. Did we get Aces Up 9 months in a row?
Yep, we did. Aces
and Joel
Up.
Tech?
Thank you, man. I didn't see Joltech.
Joltech 9 months in a row.
The alert didn't go up for Joltech.
And also, I think let's see. I think we had WFKs. We did do that one.
We got Kelly.
So we did. We missed Jules. So.
Yeah, sorry for missing you there, Joel. How many months was that?
9.
9 months.
He has enough months to have a baby. He'd be going into delivery.
Joel, thanks, man. I really appreciate you keeping the stream going.
For our stream baby.
Yeah, thank you for our stream baby.
What shall we name it, Joel?
We got to get some emotes for Joel.
Yes, guys, come on.
Got Seattle Pro chilling out. Some crew emotes. We need crew emotes for 9 months in the crew. It's great to have you here. So hey, Seattle, great to see you, Seattle Pro. We were talking about our old stomping ground up there.
And in Port Orchard, yeah.
So there used to be in Port Orchard, Washington, which is it's a little bit of a ferry ride away from Seattle.
It's about 45 minutes on ferry, I guess. An hour?
Yeah, maybe
45.
an hour.
But it's a nice ferry ride.
Yeah, it's
beautiful. There, you just walk down to the dock.
So they used to have a bowling alley there.
Yeah, Highjoy. They do have Highjoy.
Called the Highjoy.
Yeah.
And on the second floor of the bowling alley,
there's a secret room.
There was like this little secret room where they would have self-deal poker. It was dealer's choice self-deal poker, 2 or 3 nights a week, and it was like 25 cent, 50 cent, limit poker.
And that's where we lost all our money.
And that's where I finally went broke.
Mm-hmm. No,
it was pretty cool. Yeah, I go up there and. Some guy's like, okay, we're going to be playing. The name of the game is Stud High Low. 8 or better to qualify. Do you know how to play Stud High Low?
I remember we were watching it, and the guy was like, "You want to? If you fold your hand, you want to show us what you got, just in case." Yeah,
so that's exactly what happened. I got into a spot where I, had like
I have a good picture
though, like a bad 8. With like a pair of aces, and I ended up calling a guy who had like a straight to the 7, and I throw away my hand. He goes, this guy next to me,
he's giving us some life pro
some good advice is if when you're folding your hand, it's a good idea to fold it face up, just in case you don't know what you've got.
So we can help.
Sure. You. I was like, yeah, thank you for the advice, sir. That's generally good advice. That is generally good advice.
Yeah, I guess we're playing.
It's generally good advice. People misread their hand all the time. Pros
I think
misread
that
hand.
they might not have that anymore.
But I'm not misreading my hand. It's Stud 8.
I don't know. That guy made me think that you were.
Just that summer, I was at the final table of a Stud High-Low Omaha High-Low World Series of Poker event. Coming in 4th to Phil Ivey and Carlos Mortensen. And then I'm playing 25 cent, 50 cent at the Highjoy in Port Orchard, getting advice and realizing maybe this is why I didn't get 4th. Yeah, like I didn't win. This is why I got 4th place.
That's right, you didn't show your cards.
Because I'm not showing my cards every time I fold.
Speaking of showing your cards, Dutch, there's an event coming.
That's right.
That's right,
guys. We have an event coming at Planet Hollywood. Exposed Poker.
Do you know the date?
It's going to be 2 dates.
But do you know the date?
I do.
Oh, you do?
I do,
surprise.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
I do know the dates. The first date is going to be May 31st which is right before the employees event, the World Series of Poker, right before it starts. May 31st, they're having a whole bunch of employee event satellites at Planet Hollywood. And then later that night, we're doing the Exposed Poker, No Limit Hold'em. It's a $70 plus $5 event. So $5 is going to the dealers, the dealer staff. Other than that, it's rake free. So it's a very good value. I'm making the fold here with Jack 9. It's a very good value. A $5 $5 out of 75 is a very low buy-in. So that's going to be the very first time we do it. And then later on that month, 6/20, June 20th, it's going to be the same day as the Solstice event.
Oh, okay.
Which, I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to play that event. Well, maybe you get knocked out early and you want to come over to Planet Hollywood.
Are you going to be there, Dutch, playing in Planet Hollywood?
I'm going to be there in both nights. I'm not playing the Solstice event. I think it sounds horrible. I think it sounds horrible to play 4 days and then get a min cash.
Oh.
It's 90-minute. Is it 90-minute levels or 2-hour levels? 90-minute levels, I think. It's going to be such a.
So what were the dates again?
And,
I don't know the dates.
There's a couple of events that next day that I want to play.
What were the dates again? Because I don't know the dates.
Gosh, I feel like I want to call here. I'm going to make the fold though.
So what are the dates now?
5/31.
5/31.
And 6/20. And if any of you guys,
20.
If any of you are in town on either of those days, May 31st or June 20th, I invite you to come down and play Exposed Poker with us.
Now, how does it go? How does it work?
It's a little bit different. It's a little bit of a variant of poker where you fold face up, and that's really the only difference. Anytime you fold your hand or release your hand, whether it be whether you're winning a pot, losing a pot, whether you're on the showdown or whatever, anytime you release your hand, you do so face up. All releases are face up. So at some point in the hand, you're going to see everything that everyone's been playing. It has a couple of benefits to normal poker, right? It has a couple of strategy changes. I mean, it should raise the skill level just a little bit, in my opinion, because there's going to be dead cards to keep in mind. You're going to get perfect correlations, like in real time, for tells. Like if you think you spot a tell on somebody, you're going to know whether it actually means strong or weak right away. You're going to know how a person is playing. And one of the biggest things I like about it is that it eliminates the need for whole card cameras. So if you want to have a televised Exposed Poker event, you can do so in real time with 0 delay. You don't need a delay anymore. And you can have real-time commentary without this need for, without the need for whole cards. It should lower the production cost of, streaming and televising events. And it just adds for another level of complexity and kind of fun. I think it's going to be really awesome watching someone get bluffed in real time and seeing somebody fold a hand that would have won on the showdown.
It's going to be so much drama.
It's going to be some drama.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be your first time rolling it out, so we're going to see how it works. We're going
to see how it works. Maybe it's a flop. Maybe it's horrible. But
maybe
it's going to be a lot of fun to play.
People complaining or.
I'm going to be playing. Michelle, are you going to be playing it?
No.
You should play it. I feel like you should.
I don't want to play this, especially because I feel like it'd be an embarrassment.
Can I ask you? Just to do me a favor.
Maybe I will, because it is a benefit. It's a benefit because if I see what people have, it would benefit me because I'm very good at reading people, and then I can correlate the cards on it.
That's right.
Maybe I'll think about it, Dutch.
It'd
but
be a
you know
fun
what?
Event to play, what? It's kind of our event, so I think that you should play it. I think you should come out. You should play, and all of us should get together. And we should, if you're going to be in town.
Okay, I'll play. I guess.
I really hope that you come out and play with us.
Okay, I guess I have to.
Yes.
I guess I have to. Only if you guys play it. Only if you guys play it, though.
Only if every single one of you
you guys have to come down and play. So B. Roy 12587 says, "Just found your stream, guys. Watch you come back from less than a big blind to win a tourney from last year."
Do you remember that tournament? We had aces crash.
It was like fresh in my memory.
Didn't really, I didn't push pre-flop.
So long ago.
I just kind of took kind of a weird line where we were left with like 70 chips, and we were just throwing in the towel. It was just done. But
you kept it up. You believed.
We ended up winning the thing.
Yeah, I don't
And then
remember. Honestly.
It was.
I
it
do
was a fun
remember
tournament.
the event. I don't remember the hands, babe.
It's a
I'm
fun
very,
tournament.
very. To me, it just kind of washes out.
Well,
of my
that
brain.
tournament is
Dutch
on
is
our
very
YouTube
good
channel.
at remembering.
I remember this tournament because it's our most watched tournament. It's gotten like something like 70 or 80,000 people watching it.
Well, B. Roy says if he had $5 to his name, he would definitely subscribe or sub. And he says, "Keep up the great work."
B. Roy,
Dutch.
thank you very much. I hope that I hope your luck turns around.
That's right.
Stick around the channel, and we're gonna be talking about some poker. We're gonna be playing some poker, and trying to help everybody here, including us, including Michelle, including Exmo and me, get better at this game. We're trying to improve every day. Every day. So,
Yeah, I guess I have to pay exposed poker, so I'm kind of.
I'm excited.
Gosh,
so the,
I don't know,
the
man.
event on the 20th I think, is actually a little bit higher. It's a 200 plus 20. A 200 plus 20 event. So
We have a
still
year sub here, yo.
Polarized, man.
Polarized.
Great to
What's
have you here.
up?
It's great to have you here.
That's I
Polarized.
love that emote right there. The Pong champ.
A year. That's a long time, man.
That is.
A lot's changed in the last year.
Well, we need to change.
For both of us. For both of us, Polarized. Polarized got married.
Oh, yes, has a baby.
And it's great to have you here. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and being awesome. I feel like one of the cool things about streaming is actually getting to know the people who are hanging out with us.
That's right. You
And,
know,
it's been really cool getting to know you. So thanks for making this possible, man. I really appreciate it. And I hope to see you this summer if you come through. Maybe he's not coming through though.
Yeah, I think
has
he might
that
be
job.
working. Yeah.
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 So WFKS asking, can you tell if PokerStars New Jersey has had any effect on WSOP.com? I can't tell from where we're at. We don't mix traffic with New Jersey. So if WSOP New Jersey is slipping, I got to think that they'd be slipping a little bit. I got to think that PokerStars coming in is going to take some of the traffic that WSOP already has. At least at first. Maybe, overall, maybe in the long run.
But maybe not. I
they'll
mean,
expand the pie. And
but
they'll
isn't
be
the?
sharing,
I mean, this,
a bigger player pool.
maybe,
overall.
or maybe people will come from Stars and go to WSOP because it's the rake's less, right? Or is it?
I think that's true. PokerStars did just implement some rake increases.
So I think that people would, because if they're like bankroll managing and mathematicians.
Look at this, we got Government Cheese coming in 5 months in a row.
Government
Government Cheese,
Cheese.
thanks so much, man. Big
Fist
fist bump
bumps.
to you.
So yeah, I would
Thanks so
think
much for
that,
being part
like,
of the
especially
crew.
you, like if you were, I mean, but then again, you have to weigh it out. There's more people on Stars too, right? So, I don't know. I guess you would have to look at what the prize pool is, right? Like, what are you playing for?
I have to think that at least initially, PokerStars entering the New Jersey market is going to hurt the numbers for WSOP New Jersey. It has to.
Yeah.
But eventually, hopefully, they're doing their enough marketing where they get more players interested in poker
In
general. So down the line, I think that maybe it's going to have a benefit to WSOP New Jersey. But initially, no. Initially, it probably cut their traffic by 20%.
But what about the Panama? What about this papers, the Panama papers?
Oh man, there's some
What about
fun
that?
news.
I mean,
You guys see that news?
So do you think do you think they're going to pump it, the interest enough so much that when PokerStars dies, if it dies, it's not. I'm not saying it's gonna.
PokerStars isn't going to die. Maybe
But-
Amaya will die.
Yeah, my
PokerStars
gaming. They probably will sell it, right?
Will stick around. I mean, it's
Just resell
it's
the brand.
too big to fail.
You think so?
If Amaya goes down, then what will end up happening is they'll liquidate.
Do you think? And then WSP could buy it. That'd be cool. That'd be good.
That would be a crazy move. At one point, PokerStars was looking at buying the WSOP. At one point, it was
Wow.
PokerStars that was going to come in and buy.
Do you remember what year
the
that
World Series
was?
of Poker brand. No, I don't.
Be interesting to see
I
the
don't.
timeline. Okay,
But I
so
do
what
know
happened
that
with the
there were some
Panama
talks about
papers?
that.
Let's give people some information here about.
So as if
The details of
as
what
if
it is.
Amaya didn't have enough controversy surrounding that organization with the insider trading charges levied against David Bazoff and company. It turns out that this Panama Papers leak, one of the 11.5 million confidential documents, leaked. There it is, has this company, which was a former processing company that has David Bazoff's older brother and sister listed as major shareholders. What does this mean? Well, it means that there is a strong connection between sportsbook.ag, which is one of those sports books that operated U.S.-facing post-UIGEA, that, if I'm not mistaken, also went under and didn't pay off customers. So there's a strong connection between that company and a processing company, which was taking processing for offshore sports books post UIGEA and Amaya. A lot of the insiders, including Bazov, were connected with these companies, and so it looks like, from an outsider looking in, I'm going to make the fold here, 8-4 offsuit. It could be an 82 card situation, but I don't think so. Let's just make the fold. There's no ante. There's nothing really worth playing for. It looks like, from an outsider looking in, that maybe the way that Bazov got into the position where he could buy PokerStars was through breaking U.S. law, and it just seems kind of crooked. It seems a little sketchy. Then you throw in this insider trading, allegation against him, and it's like, what is going on here? How did we get to a point where all this corruption is at the top of PokerStars? It doesn't look good. It looks bad, and it looks really bad if you're a gaming regulator thinking about whether you want to give Amaya a license to operate legal games in your area. I mean, if you're New Jersey Gaming and you're looking at this and this is coming out and you're like, well, wait a minute, who exactly are we giving this license to? And the paper trail is saying, well, you might be giving a license to offshore bookies and offshore processors who have a history of ripping off customers. And you're like, do we really want to do this? Do we really want to let these guys play in our market? I don't know. It was one of those revelations, one of the many stories that are coming out of these Panama Papers, and you can read all about it at calvinair.com. Which kind of ironic that that's where it would be coming from, but there you have it. And one thing I've really liked about calvinair.com is they've never pulled punches when it comes to calling people out, calling industry players out. They are not beholden to any advertisers, and they call it like they see it. It's one of the few news sources in online gaming that you can really rely on to give you the truth. And it's kind of ironic that would be the case, given that Calvinair is one of the is one of the biggest bookies in the world, and has been flipping off the American government and breaking U.S. law since the beginning of Bodog. But his site is a pretty good resource for going somewhere to get to the bottom of things. Let's go ahead and make the raise here, making it 300. Aquaback, good to see you in the stream, man. Paul Daywald saying, thoughts on MGM Properties charging for parking soon?
Awful.
Valet will now be $17. $17 for valet.
Wow, that's a lot.
Oh my gosh! I just
valeted. We don't do the MGM.
I just valeted yesterday at Vidara.
Then you had to pay?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it was free valet. I wouldn't have valeted there if I had to pay.
No. And Dynamo.
I would have walked from Caesars
Dynamo.
for $17.
Well, Dynamo 89 says, hey, man, happy to see you here again. I was going to ask you, I've never played the Casino Employees event before. Guessing you've never played it, but do you have any idea how soft the field is? This is from Dynamo.
The employee event?
Yeah, the employee event.
I don't really have any idea on how soft that field is.
I would think there are dealers and things. I mean, they know it. to do. They know how to play.
That's what you would think that. You would think that the employee event isn't exactly like the softest field.
Yeah.
But you know what? Traditionally, I think it has been. I think it has been one of the softer fields. Let's go ahead and make the call here, I think. Right?
But you have never played it, so you really can't say much.
I've never played it.
Well,
We've
those who have played, maybe they know.
And we're going to get the call from T-Bones, I think. So let's go ahead and make the call here. And not really know where we're going to be if we hit an ace. I guess we're rooting for a 10. I don't know what we're rooting for. We're rooting for something that's not 9-5-2, though. So, yeah, Pitchy shoving in the whole amount makes me feel a little bit better about our call. A little bit better, because I think if it did come ace 10-2, he's probably doing the same thing. If it did come 10-10-3, he's probably doing the same thing. So, makes me feel like, yeah, we did have the right pot odds and implied odds to do it.
I think the MGM will have like a player card, correct?
Twitch Alerts just donated $10.12 to us. Thank you very much, Twitch Alerts.
Oh, nice.
So Twitch Alerts isn't actually watching the stream. Twitch Alerts is the service that puts up the alerts. The alerts. Mm-hmm. And they had a promotion where they were giving a percentage.
Yay!
So,
did they say anything?
They said, here's enough money to buy 5 burgers. So thank you very much, Twitch Alerts.
5 burgers?
5 burgers.
I don't think so.
Again.
I don't
Let's
know
try
where
to
he's getting
isolate Pitchy
from.
again. Paul Daywalt saying, as players, should we take a piece of paper with parking money written on it and take the money we would normally be using to tip dealers to put aside and make a point that we won't stand for this? Paul Daywalt, I think as players, we should just start playing at the Wynn.
Yeah, don't play
and
at
Caesars. That's what we should do as players. We should just not play at Bellagio and not play at Aria. That's what we should do.
There's plenty of casinos here.
And there's just no reason that, paying $10 for parking.
But I think they're going to have aren't they going to have a special, thing for player cards? Wasn't that an incentive? Like, you'd get your player card?
Yeah, I think that they were going to do something like that.
A promotion.
You know what? What I would say to do, Paul Daywald, as a player, is just don't, just boycott Aria and Bellagio for a while. The 2-5 no limit at the Wynn and the 2-5 no limit at Caesars is good. Well, let's go ahead and do it. 2022.
And
get it in there.
Oh, we have to see what
and RKCLV, I wonder what you folded there. Probably something like, kind of silly, like 8-9 or something like that.
We have a 9-month subscriber from Dakota Cahoon.
Dakota, it's great to see you, man.
And Sooner Chris Poker.
Man.
1 whole year.
Both of these guys are great. I got a chance to play with Dakota during the Planet Hollywood event, which is really cool. He was at the same table as me and Dennis Phillips and Kathy Liebert. And really cool guy. It was great to meet you in real life, and it's great to have you here on the stream. Hopefully your grind goes well tonight. And Sooner Chris Poker, I had a chance to meet him too. Had a chance to meet him over at, I think it was at Bellagio this December. So it's great to have you here. Guys, thank you so much for making the stream possible. It's really awesome to have every single one of you here. We wouldn't be here without you. We wouldn't be here without you. So thank you so much.
It's been a great 12 months.
It's been a great year.
It's been an awesome year.
Maybe my favorite year my whole life. And it really is because of you guys.
I think that's a little bit much, touchy.
I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking is there another year
Well, let's make the next year better than this. Let's make...
How can we make it?
We just make it better, guys. Make it better. So, you know what? We should also mention the Poker Zen that you're doing. Are you doing it this series?
Yeah. That's probably something else we should probably tell you guys about.
Yeah, guys, this is kind of a cool thing Dutch is doing for the first time. Is it the first time you're doing this?
For the first time.
Yeah, this is
I've been part of the Zen Poker mentoring team for a while now. When they haven't given me an event yet, so they finally bring me in for an event. I was like Ace. That's the guy who runs. I was like, Ace, you have my picture on the website. You have me in the promotional material, but so far, I haven't done a single thing yet, and we need to do something. He's like, okay, we'll give you an event. So on the 1st, which is right before the Colossus, Zen Poker Mentoring, which is the Brian Rast's live training company. They're doing an event at the World Series at the Rio, right next to the Penn and Teller Theater, and I'm going to be one of the Zen poker mentors there, along with Jeff Madsen. So if you guys are going to be, a couple of people have asked me before, do you ever do like poker training, like one-on-one coaching or anything like that? This is about the closest I'm going to be doing to that for a while, besides just the Twitch stream and hanging out here. So it's going to be a cool event. I still am not sure what I'm going to, how it's going to go, because it's going to be my first one. But I think that we do hand labs, and I think that I'm on the hook for like a speech or something.
Oh gosh, I bet it'd be a good speech.
I mean, when I was reading about like the agenda, it said
a 20-minute speech from Dutch
like
Boy.
A speech about game theory, and I was like, oh my gosh,
that's nice.
I got to learn what game theory is, I guess. Oh gosh.
We have a 3-month sub in
John
a row.
Blaze, man, it's great to see you here. Thank you very much. 3 months in a row. Thanks for being a positive part of the crew. Really appreciate that.
So wait, you have to do a game theory. So how long is that going to be? 20 minutes? 30 minutes?
I don't know.
100 minutes?
I don't know. You know what? They can put me on a stage and I can talk about game theory and poker for an hour.
Dutch loves rambling on.
I love rambling on. Talk about the difference between optimal and exploitative play. And why I don't like calling it exploitative, I like calling it exploitive. I don't think you need the extra syllable. Both are correct. We can talk about that for 5 minutes, about how exploitative is more common.
And Vinyl cited Ranch House misses your bookshelf background.
Vinyl, you know what? We've got the green screen. So
you should take a picture.
You
should take a picture of the background.
We can change it, and we can put it back, because now we have a green screen behind me. It's
amazing.
We can put any background that your heart desires.
Yes.
So
do you want to be in space, Dutch? Be in space, or you don't have it
I've always
ready.
felt like I was supposed to be in space. Vinyl side Ranch House. I have a challenge for you. I want you to imagine the most amazing, insane, sickest background you can think of. Maybe you can even find it. Send it over to me at dutchboyd.com, and we'll put it behind me.
That's right.
It'll be awesome.
And Aquaback says, we love the Boyd.
Aquaback, thanks, man. Hey, by the way, going back to that Zen Poker mentoring thing, if you guys, I have a discount code.
Oh, yeah.
Dutch.
And how do you spell that?
DUTCH. If you
is it all capital?
That,
do you know? Is it case sensitive?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Oh well, shoot.
But if you use that, then you get 5% off.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's not really that much off. That's not a lot off.
But still, it's going to be fun. It's something.
It's still something off. Yeah, you get something off. So use code Dutch if you guys want to come and chill out with me and Jeff Madsen. Sit down at poker tables with us and if you talk about poker.
I mean, Jeff is pretty awesome too. So
Jeff is brilliant. Jeff is the best.
He is a genius.
RKCLV. Awesome. I don't think I can count on him firing out a bet with an ace king or ace queen. Maybe he hero calls us here. What do you think? No, he's gonna fold. He's gonna fold with his ace high. So good fold there, RKCLV. Oh shoot, Chris, you're right. It was BMW.
Oh,
I apologize,
different
man.
Chris. Oh, it's all right, Chris. It's okay. And Joshua, Jacowe, 2 months in a row. I feel like I thought I subscribed for longer. Are you?
So Joshua Jackaway, 2 months in a row. Joshua, you know what? I think that is right. I think that it lasts for a little bit, because I feel like he's been with it.
Yeah, I feel like as well
for a long time. But man, it's great to have you here. Thank you so much for making the stream what it is.
What was the date on your? Did you give away your date on your Zen?
6/1.
6/1. 1/6.
Dynamo, you're right. You're not going to be able to be part of the Zen Poker mentoring thing if you're going to be playing the employee event.
Is that when the
But
employee event is?
Dynamo, you can always come play that. You can always come play that exposed poker event with us the night before. Guess who's going to be playing? That girl right there. Michelle
I guess I have to.
Michelle confirms.
God, I don't really want to.
Oh, you're going to be great at it.
I get anxiety just thinking about it.
Yep. It's going to be tough.
Not really, because I'm going to see. Oh, he closed. If I have an ace queen, and if a queen 2 folds, shit. And an ace 3 folds, shit. Then I'm going to have to fold. Wait.
Really?
Do I fold?
I don't know. It makes it more likely that your hand is good if you hit a queen or an ace, right?
Yeah, but then there's an ace and a queen out, so it would be less likely for me to hit one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess I wouldn't fold, just so I can see. Oh, my God. I wouldn't fold the first round to see what other people folded.
What's kind of also interesting
oh my gosh, it just became complex.
Position
really
starts
bad.
to be even more important. When you're seeing dead cards, I mean, all of a sudden being on the button is a pretty big deal. And being in the big blind and the small blind, you see everybody's folded cards.
Yeah, because then you could, like, if everyone folded to you, and you can see everybody's card. And you can kind of bluff your way into seeing the next round to see who stays in. And oh my gosh, there's like and see the flop and yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so complicated.
It'll be a fun event. So Dynamo, if you're gonna be in town, I'd love it if you.
It's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be fun too.
Oh God, Paul DeWald Poker donating $10 and says, "Shove those chips in any 2 cards and get a stack." Not a chance, man. Not a chance. I appreciate that.
He's giving us parking money.
I appreciate the parking money, but
gotta get that parking money.
You know what? Sometimes I watch Paul DeWald stream.
Yeah.
And you guys, if you guys have never checked it out, it's pretty good, pretty high quality stream. Actually, I think it's come. He's off with a bang as far as like. People who just start streaming, his looks really put together well. The guy has an elevator in his living room, and it's awesome. Every single time he goes on break, he steps into his elevator and sinks down through the floor. He has a dog who uses the treadmill, and it's awesome. I mean, this dog is so obsessed with losing weight. It's a really cool stream, and Paul DeWald, if you guys don't know, was the wsop.com Player of the Year here in Nevada, which is tough to do. There's actually some pretty decent players. It means that he has spent a lot of time at the tables and has won, which is tough to do.
4 months in a row.
408 Shytac, man, it's great to see you. I got a chance to meet 408 Shytac at this last. No, I did. At the Bally's main event, and real cool guy. Great to have you here.
Do you have time to review a hand?
For Waffle?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Absolutely. You don't have to ask, Waffle, of course. Of course, we do. Yeah, so Paul DeWald, man, it's great to thank you for the donation, but there's no way that I'm going to give it to RKCLV or Nutch. And every once in a while, I'll watch Paul DeWald stream, and here he is just shoving any 2 cards.
I like that play.
120. Oh, I hate it. I hate it.
JD Cole way.
I hate the play.
You got it from the JD Cole
I'm not doing it.
Where's JD Cole?
I refuse. I will send the $10 back. I would rather you have it, Paul, than one of these jokers at the table. I don't like just shoving any 2 cards blind. Yet, Paul DeWald,
Lumpy's in here with you in the 2K.
Can't be that bad. Lumpy, good luck in your grind, man.
And there's the look, the boom players right there, bae.
Okay, let's take a look at it.
Are we in a hand?
You know what? We're gonna let me load it up here in 3 minutes because we.
Okay. Do you have a break?
Yeah, we're gonna be on break.
Okay, 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
So we'll look at the boom player, and we'll go from there. And he says, "Be honest and blunt, please." Waffle, I will be. I promise you.
No, be honest and blunt. And Dynamo's going to take all your chips, Dutch.
Did you see what I smile you tilt said?
No, what did he say?
He said, Doug Polk called you Busto. Thoughts? It's funny because Doug Polk said the same thing about you, dude.
That's right.
He was just in the stream the other day saying, have you heard that I smile you tilt is completely Busto? I was like, no. So I don't know. What do you think about it? Like, how do you feel about that?
And we have a new sub, Jim C.
Jim C. 0722 just subscribed to the stream.
Jimmy.
Thank you,
Jimmy.
man.
What does Jimmy get?
What does he get? He gets a couple of things. I completely forgot. If you subscribe to the Dutch Boyd stream and the Eximois stream, not only do you get our thanks and you get the cool emoticons. We have a lot of cool emoticons, actually. And I look at them. We have a lot of emoticons. What is it, 15 emoticons? We got the anonymous mask. We got the Pirate Bay. We got the Bitcoin. We got the fist bump, the pizza. We got some really cool ones. Penguin slide, alligator
The pizza,
blood.
I think, can do a little bit of recooking.
We're going to change a couple of them up. But you also get some other cool things. You get a couple of fist bump patches.
I'm probably sending a batch out this next week.
Shoot. We've been saying that for like weeks.
Yeah, but
I was
supposed to say that.
A little bit
Yeah,
backlogged.
we have been.
But we'll get them out.
Tonight. We'll get them out
you also
tonight.
get an ebook version of my book, Poker Till, which got some pretty good reviews on Amazon. I think that the ebook version on Amazon is the price of a sub. So you basically, you get that for free if you subscribe to the stream.
Yeah, and if you already have it, you can share it with a friend.
Yep. Or two. Because it's DRM free. So you can copy and paste to your heart's desire. It's great to have you here. Welcome to the crew, Jim. Thank you so much for supporting the stream and the channel and making this happen. It's really awesome of you.
And Dynamo, like I said, has so many tells on you by now after watching you on here for so many hours.
That's probably true.
Winky, winky.
That is
Well, actually,
true.
it's pretty funny because Dutch really changes his gears, guys. He's not this animated when he plays live. Actually, the last time I watched you, you kind of did mumble a little bit. And I think you wanted to talk.
Yeah.
So you'll have to work on that right before.
It's hard, like when you're streaming and then you sit down at a live table and then you want to start like talking to him. You're like, we're gonna fold the Jack 3 here because we're not quite getting. Yeah, it just comes naturally.
Yeah, I have to watch you, and I'll have to
guys,
touch my nose every time you mumble.
We're on break. I think that we get the ad on here. He goes, how much do I have to donate for you to shove any two? I'm not gonna do it, Paul. I won't do it. I'm not gonna do it. I don't agree with the philosophy. I feel like we're gonna treat this like it's $1,000 rebuy and add-on. We're gonna treat this like it's a $20,000 rebuy and add-on. Kid Shogun says on the train back from the San Francisco Giants home opener. Now watch my man Dutch on the ride home. Nice. Kid Shogun, make sure to what is San? Who did the Giants play? Do we know that?
I don't know. I've been.
Hey, thanks very much for being here. Let's take a look at. Let's make sure that we get this rebuy in, and then let's look at the boom player. You want to look at the boom player? I want to look at this boom player. I want to see Waffle's hand. Let me take a look. Here we go. Boom player. Okay, so this is a $215 tournament. Let me get it up. It's weird phrasing. Here we go. Add screen capture. Here we go. This is our friend Waffle's hand. He wants our brutal advice. Oh, honest, brutal advice. You got it. Where are we at here? It looks like early on in the $215 tournament, 10 million guaranteed, 1 million to first. So this is a very deep field. Lots and lots of people in this field. We're on level 2, 30-60. So you've got 160 big blinds in front of you, and it looks like you are right here. Make a big stack. What just happened? Something just happened.
11 months up.
Sooner BMW. That's who I'm thinking of. We were
Sooner
just talking about
BMW.
you.
That's
because we had Sooner Chris Poker come in with a resub, and I was like, oh, I got a chance to meet Sooner. It's a wrong guy. So this is the right one. This is the guy I actually got a chance to meet at a Bellagio. And hey, thank you very much for keeping the stream going and keeping Twitch working. You're awesome. Really appreciate that. Okay, let's see what Waffle does. What does he get? Mega Big Stack is ASD Waffle. He gets Queen Jack of Hearts. So right off the bat, are we going to play it? Probably. Even if one of these players raise, we're gonna have position. We're gonna call. If one of these guys limps in, we're gonna call. We could even make a case for inflating the pot with a raise ourselves and isolate. The only way that we're not playing Queen Jack of Hearts in this position at this stage of the tournament is if it goes with like a raise and a re-raise. That's pretty much the only way. Or if one of these guys raises too much, you just have to be willing to fold Queen Jack if you hit a queen or a jack. That's the key to playing this hand profitably. So let's see what happens. It goes fold. We got a limp, so we're playing the hand. A limp and a call. This is perfect. Player 4 raises, not enough to make us not call, make the call. Okay, so we decide to isolate, and I would say that this is a mistake. You don't want to take Queen Jack of Hearts up against one opponent here. You want to take Queen Jack of Hearts up against 4 opponents. You want to be making the call, inducing player 9 to call in the big blind, inducing player 2 and player 3 to make the call, and everybody ganging up against player 4. It's not really a hand that you want to isolate. I can understand it. I mean, you can make a case for it, but I just feel like it's unnecessary at this point. You're risking, you're risking too much. 7 big blinds here with a queen high, and then what are you going to do? You got player 4 is probably going to make the call, so you're going to continue. You're going to c-bet no matter what happens, I guess, if your head's up against player 4. But he's raising here with what is probably the better hand. So I don't know. I think that this is not the way that you want to play Queen Jack in this spot. I think that you're much better off making the call here, taking a flop, multi-way in position with a hand that plays really well multi-way. Yeah. So let's see what happens. Another problem with making this raise is now you risk getting blown off the hand. You risk having to fold if player 4 decides to re-raise you. Then what? Then what? Now you're going to be you're probably going to be folding the hand. You also could potentially get blown off the hand from player 2 or player 3. I just don't like it, man. I don't like the raise. Okay, so let's see what happens. Player 2 makes the call. Player 3 makes the call. Nope, he makes the fold. Player 4 makes the call. Yeah. So you're in position against 2 opponents, and you're in a real awkward spot. Even if you do hit your queen, even if you do hit your jack, you don't really know where you're at. Oh, so you hit 2 queens. That seems like a good flop. It seems good. The problem though is, how are these guys going to stack off with a hand that doesn't beat you? The only way that you're really going to get these guys to stack off is if they have queen jack beat. You have kicker problems here. You crush the flop. You should be able to take it with a c-bet. I rarely slow play, but this might be one of those situations where a slow play is in order. Just because you crushed it so hard that you're just not going to get called unless you're beat. The only way that someone's going to call you is if they have 8s full or king queen ace queen, or some sort of crazy combo draw that maybe player 4 is in there with like a jack 10 of clubs or ace jack of clubs or something. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I mean, I could go either way here. I can make an argument for slow playing it. I can also make an argument for c-betting. I think that if player 4 checks here, my default is probably going to be c-bet this. So I would probably be c-betting, about half pot, maybe a little less than half pot, maybe somewhere around a third. So somewhere around 420 to 700 is pretty much what I'm thinking here. Oh. So now you're screwed. So now player 4 is sitting here with an ace queen or king queen, and you hit it too hard to really let it go. This is really sucky. It's really sucky. It's very hard for you to fold this. But the problem is, anything legitimate that player 4 could have here is kind of waxing you. I mean, unless he's betting a combo draw, and even that, you're just not looking that. You're only slightly ahead. pretty hard to put player 4 on aces or kings or jacks or tens here. So what could he possibly have? You know, it's also kind of hard to put him on like an ace queen, king queen though too, because why would he be betting the full pot instead of letting you fire out? My answer to that is, since the 8 is an 8 of clubs, player 4 likely is scared of losing the hand to some sort of weird flush draw, or giving a free card to something like pocket tens and having you hit a 2-outer.
Do you see your back from break there?
Yeah. Okay. But this is kind of important. SD Bub just donated $10. He says, "Here, give this to Paul. Then tell him this is to tide him over until the sub button arrives from Amazon." Hey, SD Bub, you're awesome, man. You're awesome. But I'm not going to give that to Paul. I'm going to keep that.
That's funny.
Paul's fine. I don't need to give Paul your $10 donation.
That's
I will
funny.
tell you this though: the next time Paul and I go grab a little bite to eat, which is probably going to be this weekend, appetizers are on me, my friend. Okay, so I'm interested to see what ASD Waffle does here. I'm really interested to see, because I can make a decent argument for just making the fold here. The goal of this hand pre-flop, when you isolate, is not to hit trips and stack a guy with a weaker hand. What can player 4 have here where you're not where you're going to stack him and you're going to be ahead? It's really hard for me to come up with a scenario where you can get the other 7,300 by raising here when you're ahead. Queen 10, really? I just don't think so. So this is really tough. I can make a decent argument for folding here, but I probably wouldn't fold. I don't think I would raise, though. I think I'm making the call and letting him continue to drive, just in case he has some sort of weird semi-bluff, or is just taking a weird line with a hand like ace king, ace jack, and is just like pocket sevens, and you don't want to interrupt him when he's making those kind of mistakes.
We have a new sub when you're done with that as well, Dachi.
Okay, let's speed it up. Let's see what he does.
Yeah, let's speed it up.
So Waffle makes the call.
That's good.
Player 2 also makes the call. The 10 of diamonds comes. Shouldn't really change anything, except now you're not ahead of queen 10. And since player 2 made the overcall, I'm done with the hand at this point. With against just player 4, I'm thinking that maybe I'm ahead. Against 2 opponents, now I'm thinking that I've got severe kicker trouble. I'm done with the hand. I think it's going to be one of those situations that a lot of people are going to be like, "I can't believe you folded that hand. That's such a horrible fold." I fold right here when player 4 fires out. This is where I fold. And if I make the fold and he turns over jack 10 of clubs and player 2 turns over ace 7 of clubs, I'm like, whatever. I still have 88% of my starting stack. I feel like you're going to get plenty of opportunities in the future where you're ahead, or you figure to be a strong favorite here. And I just don't, you put these guys on a range. Queen jack doesn't really do too well against the range, especially as they're playing it, especially as player 4 is just digging for gold. When he gets called here too, I mean, he's got to start thinking that, he's got to put you guys on hands as well. So, I mean, he's just kind of committing tournament suicide here with anything weaker than queen jack. The fact that he raised pre-flop just screams to me ace queen, king queen. And the fact that now he's firing out the full pot size bet screams to me, pocket eights or ace queen. But it's like one of those things. Are we really going to be afraid of the monster in the bed? I don't blame you for stacking off here. I just don't. I think that you made the mistake pre-flop of raising. On the flop, it puts you into kind of a weird spot. And now on the turn, you're looking at going broke right here at level 2. I would fold. Instead, you go all in. Player 2. I think that you're gonna run into a situation where you have the third best hand. Player 2 makes the call, or maybe he folds with jack 10 of clubs. Who knows? But I think that you're probably looking at like player 4 having ace queen, player 2 having a big hand too. I think that this is one of those situations Okay, so player 2 folds. Probably had like some sort of flush draw. Player 4 makes the call.
What's going to happen?
I would love it if player 4 turns over queen 3. I would love it if this hand worked out well for you. The very fact that we're reviewing the hand makes me think that it didn't work out well for you. Though.
Maybe it did. Maybe it's a brag.
Maybe. It could be a sick brag.
Sick brag.
Could be a sick brag. Let's see. Sick brag? No. Oh.
What was it? What was
that's
it?
dirty. Oh, that's dirty.
Oh, my gosh.
So
I
player
can't even
4
see
fired
it yet.
out on the flop with the 2-outer with a pair with pocket 10s. Look at that. That is ugly. So you made the call. You made the call thinking you don't want to interrupt him if he's making this kind of play with the pocket pair type hands. And then he hits his 2-outer and he continues.
I didn't see the action at the end, though. Was it obvious that
It was
he had
all in on the
something?
turn. I mean, it felt to me like it was obvious that he had something on the turn, but I wouldn't have put him on the tens full. I would have thought that you were beat on
An
the flop. When the 10 hits on the turn, though, and he continues to bet pot size into 2 opponents, it's hard to put him on a hand that is not beating you. I don't think that he fires out the pot size bet on the turn if he was starting with 7s or something. If the 10 let's say that 10 was a 3 of diamonds, for example, player 2 checks with his flush draw, player 4 checks with his pocket pair, and then you've got some options, and you can either check back or you can try to bet the flush draw off. I probably would have checked back, and then the river comes a blank, and both of them check to you. Then maybe you go for a value bet.
Oh, there's three people. Player 2's on there too, huh?
Yeah, there were 3 players on the on.
What did
on
that
the
guy
turn,
have?
Which is another reason why I would have folded on the turn. Yeah, because you can put one of them on a flush draw, but it's pretty hard to put player 4 on something that Queen Jack is ahead of. But man, it is hard to put them on specifically pocket 10s. It is hard to think, oh wow, the 10 actually just made his hand. That's a tough one to see. But it shouldn't really surprise you when you make the shove and get called that he's got Queen Jack beat. It surprised you how he had it beat. Yeah. Just like it would have been surprising if he turned over Jack 9. But that sucks. I'm sorry that happened. I think that brutal honesty. Do I think that you played it great? Not really. If I'm going to be brutal, usually I wouldn't. I would just be honest and say, yeah, I would. You want me to be brutal? I don't think you played it great. I think that you played it wrong pre-flop. I don't think you should have raised an isolated pre-flop, and I think that you should have folded on the turn, if not the flop. So that's my brutality.
Really?
Brutality. Let's go ahead and make the call here, I guess. Let's get back to our event.
Huh.
Thank you for the hand though. That was pretty interesting to watch. We raised pre-flop, and T-Bones decided to re-raise us, which puts us in this weird spot. No idea what to do. No idea what to do against T-Bones, who min-raised us. So we made it 500.
Oh, you have a sub, dude.
1,000.
You have a sub, too.
Oh.
Yeah, Medvedjatnik. Nick.
That's a tough one.
Medvedjatnik.
That's a tough one to... Medvedjatnik? Medvedjatnik is, I think that's how we're going to say that. Look at this guy finding out 200 into 2,400. That's just depressing. It's just depressing because we're just never ahead here. It makes me want to just blow him off the hand. Pocket 7s.
What'd you have here?
We had ace jack.
Oh. Well, welcome our crew member, Dutchie.
Welcome, Medve.
Medve.
Can I call you Med? It's great to have you here in the stream, and thank you very much. As our newest crew member, you're going to get some stuff. We're going to give you some stuff. By the way, I'm also going to raise here. We're going to give you a couple of these fist bump patches. Shipping worldwide, anywhere you're at. So Michelle's going to send you the welcome email with a link to our Google Forms. Pop down your mailing address. We'll send you a couple of these. And, yeah, let's go ahead and half pot it, I guess. 9-12. We've got a little semi-bluff going on there. We're going to send you over DRM-free digital version of Poker Tilt. And thank you, man. Thank you for keeping the stream going. If there's anything I can do for you, I want you to let me know. Any hand histories that you want me to review or thoughts or really anything, hit me up. Really appreciate you supporting the stream.
Yeah, and you can if we don't get your questions here on the chat,
3 in a row is too much.
You can always email dutch@dutchboy.com.
Chaos Theory, also mentioning, Chaos Theory is one of the better players on wsop.com as well. ASD Waffle, WSOP Nevada, saying the same thing about on the turn. It is a disgusting fold on the turn. It really is. But with player 2's overcall on the flop and he comes out potting again, then Queen Jack is just never ahead. And even though you don't put him on pocket tens, you put him on a better hand than you. That's like he's firing out a pot-sized bet. So either he's just completely blowing up. If he had the line is consistent on the flop with a smaller pocket pair that you're just crushing. But not on the turn. Not when he gets called in 2 spots. At that point, all but the most maniacal players are going to shut down. SD Golfer says it's just a bad beat in a cooler. I mean, I disagree. I don't think it was really that bad, bad of a beat. I don't really feel like it was, it wasn't a bad beat. Queen Jack of Hearts versus tens isn't a bad beat. It's a bad beat on the turn, I guess, when he 2-outers him. But it's not like that was the only turn card that could happen where he's losing the hand. He's got any club too is probably losing the hand for him. And yeah, see, I agree with Chaos Theory. It's not really a cooler spot when you can fold the turn. And it also shouldn't have really been gotten to the point where you're playing for stacks, because if you just make the call there for 120 pre-flop. And you're able to get it in multi-way with that Queen Jack, then the hand doesn't play out quite the same way. Where pocket tens is thinking, well, maybe he's got Ace King, and I'm going to protect my hand here, and you got the flush draw coming along for the ride. The hand wouldn't have played out the same way if you had just made the call. How it probably would have turned out is, maybe player 2 fires out a semi-bluff with his flush draw. Probably not, though, because it sounds like it seems like, let's pot it up. It did seem like he was playing pretty passively throughout the whole hand. But maybe. Pocket tens probably doesn't fire out a value bet into 4 opponents, but maybe he does. And when he does, then you can go ahead and raise it. Or just make the call. Either way. But if you do make the call, then if he pots it on the turn, the pot's not going to be near as big, and you probably retain some chips by the time it gets to the showdown. So I thought it was an interesting hand. I didn't think that it was one of those hands that so every once in a while we'll see somebody come in and be like, "Can you analyze this hand?" And it's like this hand where you got a guy on the button with like 17 big blinds, and a guy raises, another guy re-raises, shoves all in, and he's got like pocket kings on the button, and he makes the call, and the other guy has like ace queen, and he hits an ace on the turn, and it's like, okay, well, why are we reviewing that? Are we questioning whether you should make the call pre-flop with kings there, 17 big blinds, in the middle stages of a tournament? I guess that's the question, and the answer is yes, you made the right play. Sometimes it's that, and sometimes it's the brags. Sometimes you get like, a guy who made just like a call that I think is like a bad call, but then it turns out to be a brilliant call. And it's like, okay, well, I guess results-oriented thinking there. I actually don't think that was one of those hands that was obvious, and I think a lot of players, like Chaos Theory says, I think a lot of players go broke on that hand, man. A lot of players. It's very hard to look down at a hand like trip queens and think,
yeah, I would probably go broke on that for sure.
It's very hard
because I wouldn't think that they had 10.
The problem though
at the
is
end.
It's all relative. You can't just look at trip queens and be like, yeah, that's an awesome hand. You got to look at the situation that is presenting itself and realize that your opponents are putting you on a hand just like you're putting them on a hand. And it's really hard. If you get into a situation where the story that your opponents are reading, your opponents are trying to read the table too, and if the read that they have is that they're ahead, sometimes you have to wonder if maybe they are ahead, and it's very frustrating when you get into a situation where you read somebody for strength and you make a fold, like a big hero fold, and it turns out that they just didn't know that they weren't strong. You know, like that happens more times than I can tell you. Where a guy with like queen 5 is sitting there, just putting his head down and like, yeah, I hit it. And he's like, yeah, I'm getting called in 2 spots with my trip queens 5 kicker. And so you make the hero queen jack fold, then he turns it over and he's like, I had it. And you're like, oh my gosh. No, you didn't, buddy. You just didn't realize that your hand was shit. You know, that's very frustrating.
It happens, though.
But sometimes you're making these reads, you know, based on what other players think that they have and the strength that they think that they have. It's all relative, and you can't just look at, you know, trip queens and think this is the gold.
But that's the difference between, like, you know, I mean, it's really hard not to think of trip queens and not being the gold, though. I mean,
yeah, I thought it was actually kind of an interesting hand. We got Tiger Woods TW. I always suspect that Tiger Woods might watch this stream.
That's right.
You know, he does play a little bit of poker. You know, they do the All In Tiger
welcome,
Woods
Tiger.
charity event. So Tiger Woods coming in and checking out some poker strategy.
So Dutch.
So
are you playing this hand here?
I am. Yeah.
Okay.
I not only is it a good spot because we got an open limper, which I'm actually going to go ahead and give him a little bony fish. With 2,400 chips, you really shouldn't be open limping anymore. But not only do I have you know, a really good hand, I also have a really good spot. So put them both together. If Avaho, you can make the shove here with pocket 5s. No one's going to blame you.
Nice bet.
I will say this too, Waffle. I don't think it's too healthy focusing too much on the mistakes you make. You know, you can't change it. You are the player that you are because of the plays that you make. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. And no one makes perfect plays. No one plays, you know, great poker all the time. Everyone is going to make mistakes at the table. And you know, when I think about the mistakes that you made in that hand, I don't really think that they're huge mistakes. I don't think that, you know, isolating their pre-flop is a huge mistake. I wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, that's the worst thing I've seen at the table. You know, I would put that as not even as big of a mistake as open limping with 12 big blinds. You know, I think it's a small mistake, and sometimes it actually works out pretty well. This was a mistake. I'm supposed to be making it 600 instead of 680. For some reason, I thought we were at the 142.80 level.
See?
So made it a little bit heavier than I normally would. And now we got Choo Choo making a raise, and I don't really feel like putting in a sixth of my stack in with pocket 7, so I'm going to make the fold here.
So, Dutch, we should mention to our viewers here, if they're not following already, they should follow.
Definitely follow. Guys, if you're not following the stream, why not? We're trying to get up to 13,000 follows. That would be awesome.
Yeah, and the follow is right. If you're on your PC, it's right below me, and it's the little heart. Or if you're on your mobile, it's above Dutch's head. It's the heart. Click it. It costs you nothing, and it helps our stream.
And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure
subscribe.
To click on subscribe.
Yeah,
you know,
and then join us live on
and
Twitch.
Join us live on Twitch. That's right. Twitch is awesome. Okay, making the fold here.
And also, taxes season is here, isn't it? When is taxes due, Dutch? It's the 16th?
The 15th.
15th, oh. And we have a new tax.
We have some accountants that we want to recommend to you guys.
Yes.
If you live in New Jersey or Nevada or Southern California, if you're Vegas,
is it Southern California too?
And Southern California
and Vegas.
There's a law firm which is targeting poker players. They understand the nuances of poker. They understand things like backers and makeup. They understand
wins and losses.
You know what you can write off and what you can get away with writing off.
And they're very cool.
They are really cool. And I would recommend them.
Not intimidating, and they're they know the whole poker world. So if you guys need your taxes done, they're really great.
They're very good for poker. The partners there play poker. They love poker, and they recognize that a lot of poker players have tax issues. A lot of us do.
Yeah. We were hearing some stories about people not paying their taxes for a really long time, but they reassured a lot of them, and they know they know the laws. They know how to deal with it. They have attorneys, and they have negotiators and things like that as well.
So check them out, and if you mention Twitch, you get your consultation for free. 30 minutes. You walk in, you tell them what the issues are.
Yeah, make sure you tell them that you heard it from us, because it's awesome.
Yeah,
and we want to give good business to them because they're good people.
So Avaho open limping here. I mean, I got to take a shot at it. Maybe we're ahead.
Oh wow, Avaho didn't even call there. Wow.
I mean, you just can't. You can't limp there with his kind of stack, because if you do, you're just inviting somebody to take the pot from you.
But yeah, guys, so check that out if you haven't had your tax done yet, because it's time almost. It's almost there.
April 15th. You know what I think about every year? It's Black Friday.
When is Black? Is that when Black?
That was April 15th. Yeah.
Was that happen on April 15th?
It did. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Black Friday happened on April 15th. It was a sad day. 609. By the way, it's great to see you, man.
609.
Oh,
where's your
badge? Sick for the last couple of weeks.
Aw.
Sorry to hear it.
What are you sick with? Cold, flu? Aw. Being sick sucks.
So we'll give Mac lovers a bony fish here too for the open limp. Hate it. This could be a situation where maybe we've been kind of beating up on Mac lovers open limbs for a while, so let's just go ahead and make the fold. And guys, it's about that time now. I'm gonna jump into the $30 rebuy and add-on as well. They've been going for an hour and 24 minutes. Let's register.
Yeah, I was wondering when you were gonna register on that. It's been a
Right
while.
now.
Is it almost? Oh wow. When's the late register stop at 9?
Yeah.
Oh, so you still have a lot of time.
Another 30 minutes.
We are gonna take over the poker world.
Dynamo89 just subscribed. Welcome to the crew, Dynamo. It's great to have you here. So Dynamo's going to be here in this summer playing the employee event, and hopefully I'll be able to run into you. If you make that final table, I'll be railing you, man. Thanks for subscribing to the stream. I really appreciate it. We're going to send you over a couple of fist bump patches. It'd be awesome if maybe you wanted to rep them during the event this summer, and hopefully they bring you some of that Twitch run good.
Yeah, and if you guys see any other people with fist bump patches, start a dialogue, guys. Get to know each other.
Yeah. That's one of the coolest things about Twitch is the actual real life relationships that result in it. So
maybe this year we can do like a gaming night.
That'd be kind of fun.
Because there's a cool gaming cafe here that has board games.
It's called Meepleville.
Yeah, and I think that'd be really cool to do a meetup. Or we can just meet at a pizza place too, I guess.
408 Shytech is saying this year
pizza.
The deadline is the 18th. And I'm going to defer to his judgment. He probably knows better than I do. So, yeah, Dynamo, thanks so much, man. Thanks for supporting the stream and the channel. Really appreciate it. You're also getting that DRM free digital book, so if you haven't read it yet, check it out. Okay, little Jack 10 offsuit. Let's make the raise, making it 600 here. Wait for it to get to the trailing digit. Raise.
B. Roy, 12/5/87 is doing his taxes right now.
Good for you for doing your civic duty, B. Roy. Just a koala.
Yeah, don't put your money in Panama. Is that what it is? This Panama Papers, right?
Nice. So we're getting ace queen here. We get to make another raise. Pretty good spot to do it too, given that Mac Lovers has 8 big blinds in front of him. So we've got Avaho making the raise here for 4 bigs. I guess we just isolate, make the re-raise 2,400, about that 2,588. So we dodge that spade draw. Avaho waiting and waiting and waiting for the perfect hand to shove with. I guess 3 high was the hand. 3 high was the hand. Oh, and there was another funny thing that happened today in the GPL. Did you guys see that? Did you guys see that? The Sixth Street. So Martin Jacobson and I can't remember who he was playing. Let me see if I can find the. Let me see if I can see.
Nick, let's see. You are welcome.
So they were playing their heads-up match. I gotta find it. And they're up.
You can probably get it from Waco Kid. He has a picture of it. Did he? He might have Twittered it.
Let me find it. Here's the picture. This was great. You guys see this? So it was who was it? It was Anton Wig playing Martin Jacobson. The GPL match today. Here it is. Boom. So there they were, Jacobson and Wig sitting there with a cooler, right? Queen high flush versus the ace high flush. Looks like Martin Jacobson is going to lose some hands, lose some chips here. It must have gone back and forth a couple times on the river, and then they get another card. After the river is done and the action is finished, they get another card.
Make sure you talk into your mic, Dutchie. Not, because we're getting a little bit of an echo.
Yeah, so a little bit of a hiccup. And the funny thing was when they came back, how they decided to handle it was as if the hand never happened. They decided to go back and reset the chips as if the hand never happened instead of at the end. Why? Because it doesn't matter. That's why, is because they don't care. They care about as much as Cates cared when he misread his hand during his first matchup because he was multi-tabling. Doesn't look good. It doesn't make the GPL look good. It doesn't make it look good when the players themselves aren't really taking it that seriously. I like the little heads-up matchups. I think it's kind of cool. And I hope that the GPL takes off and does well. But I don't know how the viewership has been. It looks like they had 3,000 people watching, so that's good. That's a lot of people watching the GPL. But yeah, look at that. LOL wrecked. It's like, I like that extra card. How does that happen? I don't know. Misdeal in the GPL.
We have another boom player too from SD Waffle. If you want to put that in the background when you're ready for it. So,
Okay.
Did you show them the thing about? So what did they say about it?
What do we do with this? Little King 5 of Hearts on a King Queen 2 board. I have no idea what to do with it. I think I'm going to go ahead and fire out a half pot size bet and play like we've got the best hand. The only guy I'm not going to put the rest of it in here against is Thor's Hammer. So we'll see if one of these guys wants to go all in. I'll come along for the ride. If both of them go all in, now what? Now what? I mean, now I'm kind of thinking that we've got problems in both spots where we don't have hearts as now, and we don't have and we have kicker problems for our king. So I'm going to make the fold, I guess. Against 1, I'm loving it. Against 2, I'm not.
Oof. Wow.
So we were drawn dead to T-Bones. And Mac Lover's in there with a Queen 9. I don't really blame him. I don't love it, though. I feel like once T-Bones makes the shove, maybe Queen 9 can get away from it. And he also shouldn't have really been limping with the kind of stack that he had. So 8-4 suited, make the raise. hand out the bony fish for the open limp. And we're going for 680 plus a 560. Well, we'll just go 1120. Both of them call. Interesting. T-Bones and Prudence both calling. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and take a free card here. I kind of feel like there's a decent chance that one of these guys has a pocket pair. Fire out half pot. Sure. That's good news, T-Bones. Checking. Yeah. Let's put him to the test. Hopefully get called by an ace-10, ace-9. Maybe he just says screw it with pocket sevens. Maybe he's just like, screw it. You're going to have to show me something.
Well, he's going to call you.
I hope he calls. When they take this long, you got to think that you're ahead. So he does make the call with Queen Jack. Turn the flush draw.
Nice.
And made the call. Run it up Reno. That'd be kind of a fun event to go up to.
It's in May.
Yep.
Maybe. Maybe in May.
Mayhaps.
Well, maybe. I like Reno. I like the whole
Reno's
circus
not so bad.
thing.
And I love Somerville's stream.
Because I'm weird, though.
I subscribe to Jason Somerville's stream. We've got
we have an 8-month in a row subscriber, Jahart Jr.
Jahart Jr. 8 months in a row. It's great to have you here. Thank you so much for keeping the stream alive.
Yeah, guys, you guys are awesome. We really appreciate the resubs, guys. And if you guys are just watching us, remember to follow our stream. It helps us a lot. And feel free to donate and give us all your money. No.
So, interesting little line from RKCLV. Interesting line. He check calls and then fires out a full pot size bet.
Did you unfinish the hand, the crazy hand that was shown on the GPL? Or did you finish that?
Okay, we're gonna make him show us something better than pocket tens. He could have king. He could have a king here, easy. He's gonna have to show it to us. Wow, another full pot size bet. Look at that. I just feel like he's digging for gold, guys. Okay, I'm going to make the fold here. He could have bluffed us off of that hand. But I'm not going to put half my stack in just to find out. When we make the call on the turn and then he fires out on the river, I'm starting to think that he check called on the flop because he was worried about... interesting. 1400. We'll go for 2020. I'm kind of feeling like he check called on the flop, make sure that a club doesn't come, and then fired out a pot size bet on the turn. I mean, it felt like a king. Who knows? It's a tough one, man. It's a tough one. The toughest part about poker is folding and never knowing.
Wow. Well, Prudence probably has something. Prudence is
who knows?
Friend of the stream.
Yeah, I've seen her go in pretty
light.
Pretty light before.
Hi, June. Do you want me to shoot you with my bubble gun?
It's a tough one. I mean, if we're going to fold pocket jacks, how far are we going to take it? Are we folding queens there? Probably not. I think queens is our line. That's a tough one, though. I mean, with putt and pair making the call and then Prudence shoving so quickly. It's a tough one. It hurts to fold that. It really hurts to fold. Nice hand there, Prudence.
Medvid Jetnik asks, do you know people from Atlanta? They used to say nothing but nice things about you from over 10 years ago.
I know some people from Atlanta, yeah. I think Justin Booth is from Atlanta. I know him. He's pretty cool.
Is UV from Atlanta?
UV is from Atlanta.
UV is from Atlanta.
Yeah.
I think he's living there again.
What's that?
I think he's living there again, maybe. Or he's visiting, at least.
I thought he was living in New Orleans.
He might be. I thought he was visiting, though. Well,
yeah, a lot of strong players are coming out of Atlanta.
Yeah, and we usually see them during the series.
Yeah.
I have never been to Atlanta, though. So after you take me to Harry Potter World, Dutch, Aces Up is going to Harry Potter Land. And you know what? Polarized has never read a book or seen a movie. Can you even believe it, Dutch?
A Harry Potter movie?
Yes.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, I don't either.
I think he's leveling us all. Okay, against two of these guys, I'm just going to go ahead and give up with the King Jack. Giving up. Done with a hand. Nuts AA, Thor's hammer. I'm not going to try to buy this pot. I'm done with it. Done. Done. Pocket sevens and Jack 10. So Thor's hammer, rivering nuts. I think that maybe if you're nuts ace, maybe it's worth firing out a bet on the turn. Is this the third hand in a row we've raised? It's okay. And we got a Queen 9-2 against 3 opponents. We'll fire out. Test for the Queen, I guess. Queen test.
J Jones 6770 subscribed for 1 year now.
Jay Jones, man, a whole year. That's really awesome. Thank you so much for sticking with us as long as you have. I feel like the stream has gotten has changed quite a bit in a year. I feel like we're getting a little more comfortable with it. And I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for keeping it going.
We do appreciate it.
Wouldn't be here without you, Jay Jones. Thank you very much.
It's been a wild ride.
Thank you. Really appreciate it, man.
Wait, are we almost at the bubble yet? No, we have a long way. I really have. I guess what, guys? I got some more bubbles. Look, everybody. I don't know if you can see it because of the green screen. Can you even see it?
No.
Oh, invisible. No, really? It's really invisible? It's a really big bubble thing.
Yeah.
Really? It's invisible? Man. I think you're joshing me.
I don't know. We're starting to get some kickback for that jacks fold.
Are you?
You know, it's a tough spot, guys. What I would ask you is how low are you going to take it? If you're going to call with jacks, how low will you take it? You know, like I ask myself how high will I take the fold? And I think jacks is about as high as I'll take it. I don't think I'm going to fold queens there. But if you're going to call with jacks, how low do you take the call? Do you call with 10s and 9s and 8s and 7s? Are you calling with any pocket pair? Because, I mean, at some point, if you're calling with jacks there, it's like you're putting Prudence on a pretty specific hand. I don't know. Maybe Prudence will tell us what she had.
Prudence, what do you have?
Comes out on the stream. What did you have, Prudence?
You're my best friend. Please tell me. Please tell my best friend.
Yeah. Putt and Par said he folded queens.
Oh, wow, really?
That's a pretty big fold. See, I don't think I would have folded queens, Putt, but I'm folding jacks. I mean, they're very similar hands.
Playing with my game.
Making the fold here with 10-9. It's a tough one, though. It's tough. Maybe Prudence will tell us.
Prudence.
The Poker Pro suggesting that Poker Prudence had Ace-Jack. I'm going to say no. It's much more likely that Poker Prudence had Ace-King. Because I had 2 Jacks. You know, it makes it so there's a lot more combinations of Ace-King there than Ace-Jack. Ace-Jack is pretty unlikely there.
Ah.
Flatty chilling out. It's great to see you here in the stream, man. Always a pleasure.
Yeah. Yeah. That reminds me, he has Foodie Fest tickets, Dutchie.
No kidding.
We should go. I don't know.
Is that at the Rio again this year?
I have to look at the date. I don't remember where it's at. That's pretty fun.
So we got Choo Choo. We got Thor's Hammer. Prudence coming in with a fold. So let's fire in. Let's fire in with our Jack high on the button. Full position raise. We get through the small blind. Choo Choo makes the call. We got King 9-2 on the board. And, Choo Choo firing out a half pot size bet. Okay. We'll give it up. Even if he's bluffing, he's probably ahead of us. So we'll give it up. It always induces, though, man. It always is very tempting when a guy just donk leads into you to take a shot at him. To take a shot at him. So, you know, Med, we actually do have a like an official fist bump T-shirt over at Run Good Gear.
Get a gear store, please. I know you want. Yeah, we need to get a gear store. Oh, it is invisible. It was very invisible.
Yeah.
I thought you were just kidding me.
No, I would never kid.
I thought I would see my bubbles. It's a big bubble thing, guys. It's huge.
How can we resist? Nuts is sitting out in the big blind, and it's just 300 just sitting there for free. Prudence thinking the same thing. I'll make the fold.
And Ghost of M, I want to wish him a happy lurking day. It's been a year of him lurking.
Happy lurking day. That's funny. Ghost of M, it's great to have you here.
All of my bubbles are all like see-through. Aww.
We got Iceman Kiwi chilling out with us. It's great to have you here, Iceman Kiwi. Kiwi was coming from New Zealand, one of the winners of the Twitch Poker League, right?
Yes.
I think so.
Well, I know he won a hat.
He won some stuff, I think. So, Thugly Fee 231. How do I get off this tilt rage? 1 for the money, and my aces get cracked. By Queen 10 all in pre-flop. How do you put it behind you? I don't know, man. I don't know. Tilt is real. It happens. I mean, I can give you all the advice in the world not to be results-oriented, focus on the fact you got it in good. It doesn't matter. You know, you can't outthink your emotions. You can't outthink how you're going to respond to things. Just, you know, a big part of poker success is to remove yourself from the short-term results.
You can't outthink your emotions, but you can react differently to those emotions. It's
hard to do.
Well, I mean, I don't think. I mean, we've seen really angry tilters.
Yeah.
So I think that you're totally not. But no, Dutch, he sometimes talks about his hands a lot. he emotionally goes through them over and over again at times.
Some hands really stick with you. Some hands will really stick with you.
April last weekend of April. Foodie's April the last weekend. So we'll try to do that.
Dynamo 89 asking if we're going to sell some action in the main event this year. Probably not. Probably not. But I might sell some pieces in that online event again. I might do that.
Yeah, they're doing the online. Do you know how many online events they're doing this year? Or is it just one this year? I didn't see the schedule.
They're just doing the one.
Just the
online
one?
event.
Oh, I thought they were going to do more. Kiplin wants to know if you would always fold. Would you always fold jacks to a shove after your initial raiser? That's the question I always ask myself.
I wasn't actually the initial raiser, and no, I 3-bet that, and then got 4-bet. So it's going to be pretty situational, and
yeah,
a lot of times I'm going with the jacks. The way it went down with putt and pair, limping, and then calling a 3-bet, and then Prudence shoving there, it just didn't really feel like Prudence could count on a fold. So it was one of those weird situational spots where I just didn't really think I was ahead. Look at that. Jared just donated $28. This is 1% of my action from my second place finish. My first WPT, Deep Sex event in Reno, where he took a nice chunk down. Jared, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. Interesting. Yeah, Thug Life. It's interesting how that works, man. I guess that's not thugly. It's not thugly. It's actually Thug Life. That makes more sense.
Okay, Thug Life. Yeah. You know what? Dutch is tilted when he popped the bubbles.
Yeah, I would say bubbles do.
Bubbles. And that's why we have the GG bike.
Yeah.
And that
nice
is why.
Nice hand there, putt and par. Nice hand there, putt and par.
Yeah, bubbles suck.
Yeah, bubbles suck.
But
how
many
many blinds did you shove with? You know, it might not have been a mistake for the Queen 10 to call you.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Jay Ruffer's coming in to Vegas in 2 weeks. And we can go shoot pool. And there is a non-smoking pool hall that I can join you guys. Maybe. I don't know. Pool. Ugh.
It's not our flop, guys. We caught a little bit of it, but not enough. And yeah, 408. There we go. Now we're ahead. Fire out a little half pot size bet here. I think we can get called with worse.
Is Ricky Rhino a Republican in name only? Ah, bum bum ba-dum.
You know, Thug Life, sometimes, very rarely, but sometimes it is a fold with aces, especially on the button. Sometimes, those are pretty rare, but they do happen. I'm gonna probably guess that was not one of those cases. That you probably shoved for more than 5 or 6 big blinds, and the Queen 10 call was pretty was pretty unnecessary on his part.
He said it was only 50. You saw that 15 big blinds.
15 big blinds. Yeah, it wasn't a small shove. That's not going to be one of those times where pocket aces is ever a fold. With 15 bigs, you're always going to be making the raise. I probably wouldn't have even shoved with it. 15 bigs, I think. It's probably one of those spots that I probably would have made it like 2x or 2 point something x, and would have loved it if somebody thought they could ICM me out of that pot. I'd be snap calling. You're really rooting for a call when you make the shove. So, you know, you got what you should be rooting for. Sucked.
We'll have to email the Run Good.
I don't know what
guys.
a beady is, but I don't really think that I like somebody calling you a beady. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't matter.
What?
I don't know what he's saying. I don't know what he's saying, but anytime you have to start something, the very first thing you say in a stream. You think that's what he's saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think he knows how to spell.
Well, anytime you have to say no offense in the first thing you say in a stream.
He can't spell offense either.
Yeah.
He must not have a thing.
It's okay.
So, we have to email rungoodgear.com to have them make more large shirts, Dutch. They're out.
And extra large.
Extra large and
and
large.
2XL.
2XL.
And 3XL.
Are they out of all those? They just have medium
out of
and
everything
small?
except medium and small, yeah.
Oh, damn.
Gives you a little small glimpse into how our how our audience is kind of skewed. A little Queen 7 off hoppy. Yeah, let's do it. Let's make the raise. Not a great hand.
Bubblesec.com says Jay Ruffer.
But we're not planning on having to see a showdown here. Make the raise, get it heads up, maybe get Hoppy to call and one of these guys to call. Take it on the flop. That's the plan.
Oh, I lost it here.
This is too many people to call. Our plan is not going to work. Hoppy probably needs to be making the call with any two cards, getting 7.5 to 1. And okay, plan B. Actually hit the flop with the best hand and push some of these guys out. Let's get the ace tens. Let's get the king queens out of here. Let's get the jack 10 to make the call and miss on the turn. Nuts AA. I feel like if we check, it's just going to induce a bet from him. Doesn't matter. I'm going to check and see what he does. Fires out 1,600. Okay, making the call. Another 10 is good, kind of. If he had a spade draw, then we're ahead. If he has a jack 10, then he's loving his hand. Fires out 7,000. Ugh. I wonder how much time we have to think about this. Jack 10's definitely in there, but so are those busted flush draws. Okay, let's call. Jack 10.
Ouches.
Door number 2. Okay. That sucked. That's going to put us two big blinds. Ugh. 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 Well, we do have the $30 rebuy and add-on still here. And we've come back from worse. Not much worse though. When the big blind hits, I mean we're gonna have two big blinds, and then that big blind's gonna hit, and we're gonna have to win that hand. So guys, we're gonna be right back. Don't go anywhere. Time, we're sign off. Okay, guys, we're back.
You
We're
just
gonna
shake it
run
off.
up.
Shake it off,
Shake it
Dad.
off. Shake it off like Taylor
And
Swift.
Pele's gonna play.
Seth
And
Mack
haters
has a
gonna
good
hate.
question.
Who?
Seth Mack?
Okay.
He says, I'm trying to learn more about game selection for online cash games. What are some of the key things to look for? What are considered favorable figures for average pot and players per flop? Okay, Seth Mack, the main thing that you should be looking for is VPIP. You really need to find one player whose VPIP is way off. In a nine-handed game, pretty much anything over 40% is what you're looking for. In a six-handed game, you're looking for something higher, 50, 60%. And that's what you're looking for. Okay, guys, this is going to be it.
Oh, gosh.
We're making the shot
gosh, here he goes,
with Jack
guys.
10 off suit.
Come on, jack off 10. Jack 10 off.
I'd love for one of these guys to squeeze. That would just be a dream come true.
Come on,
if
guys.
like Putt and Par or Prudence decides to raise here, I'm going to just like reach through the screen and hug them. We don't really want to. We would love to get some dead money in here. So King 8-8 is not the flop we're looking for.
Bump.
RKCLV firing out a full pot size bet. Makes me feel a little bit better about the fold when he fired out the pot size bet on the turn in the river. Because here he is firing out a pot size bet with a pair of kings on a King 8-8. Would you like to watch tournaments hand history? No, thank you. We're done with that tournament.
And on to the next.
We got another tournament going right now, a $30 rebuy and add-on, the 3K guaranteed. Let me write these notes on RKCLV, though.
Oh.
So that is the 2K gone, done. But never fear, the biggest tournament of the night is still going.
And there's 91 players left.
You want to do your rendition of Taylor Swift? I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to interrupt that.
No, it's okay. That was long gone. June's crying now.
Yeah, Seth Mack. Main thing you're looking for is one big donator at the table, and that's gonna be the VPIP. That's mainly what you're gonna look for. And a VPIP, like a high, more than 40% VPIP, coupled with a low, with low PFR numbers, is what you're looking for. And then what you look for, if you've got your poker tracker set up, you got your Hold'em manager set up, then what you look for is you look for players that you have historically beaten. One really useful thing. Yeah, let's go ahead and make the call here, getting 5-1. One really useful thing about poker tracker is you can have it show how much specifically a player has lost to you lifetime, and how many hands you've played with that player lifetime. And you just look for players that are in the red against you. So the more history you have built up in your hand database, the more the more you can get real specific with, is this a good situation or isn't it? But that's after months of grinding on a specific site with the same players day in and day out. And some sites just won't let you have that kind of won't let you do that data analysis. So when all else fails, the main thing that you're looking for is a big donator at the table, and the biggest donators are the ones who are playing with a VPIP that's just too high to possibly be profitable. So that's what you're looking for. The actual, when you're going through the lobby. And a lot of times you're looking at the lobby and looking at, like right now, if I look at the lobby and look at players per flop, it's not really going to tell you the whole story. Sometimes you're going to be, looking at players per flop in the 30 percentile, and you're going to be thinking, oh, that's a great game. And then you actually look at it and you realize that, while there's a couple players that are a little looser than you think is right, what actually happened is that the game was shorthanded until just recently. Then it filled up, and the numbers are kind of skewed, or they're kind of sharing it. It's not just like one or two players that are putting it over that 33% mark. generally, though, so you're not really going to be able to spot good games based on a high percentage. What you can do, though, is spot bad games pretty easily, because when you look at a 9-handed Hold'em table, and it's got a player's per flop percentage like 14%. You don't have to look too hard, and you just know it's a bad game. Okay, so what do we do? 1400 plus the 560 that Nitch just put in. We'll put it at about 1960. Raise it to 5, right there. And we're getting called. We're getting called. Mr. McLaw makes the call. Checks on a 9-3-3 board. He's really expecting the fire out. So let's check back. We don't do this. It's very situational. We're checking back right here. Not really too worried about giving away a lot of free cards. Checking back again. Ugh. Queen might have been one of the free cards that we don't want to give away. Let's see what Bobby McLaw does. Fires out 32.95 into 5-1-2-5. I don't think he makes that bet with smaller pocket pairs, so we're just hoping that he has like an ace-jack, ace-10 type hand, and not an ace-queen or a king-queen type hand. I'm going to give it up, guys. Don't often do it. Giving it up. $680. Making the raise. Oh, look, we got June chilling out with us. She says hi to everybody.
She wants to play with me.
She bored?
Yeah, she's trying to let me. She's running around the house having me chase her.
That was a frustrating hand there against BC McLaw. You know,
we live here now, June.
I'm not really happy with how we played that. The bet on the river doesn't really make a lot of sense. Okay, so Soren making the raise, almost 3x. I can make the fold. I'm gonna have to think about that one. Yeah, the queen could have been a pretty good bluff card for him. I don't know. It's a tough one. He also could have been value betting pretty thin. It's a really tough one.
Are they doing the World Series of Poker earlier this year?
No.
Not doing it at 11?
Oh, you mean the actual time of the day?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
They are? Okay.
They are, yeah. I remember Joe McKeon got a little bit of flack on his Twitter because he was like, it's too early. They're treating us like slaves, making us get up at 11 in the morning.
Jeez. We're not awake by then. That's pretty funny.
I thought it was great. Everyone agreed with him. It was like, you're right. It's too early. Oh my gosh, Kiwi, that is an awesome one. I really like the Ace King.
That is cute.
That's a good emote for Nanonoko. That's a really good one. Wow, quads. Nice hand there, Ferris.
Ooh,
nice hand.
So, Asdrubal. Is it Asdrubal?
Asdrubal, yeah.
Misses you.
It's good to see you, man.
Miss you too.
Asdrubal is in South America.
Oh, we miss you too.
I think he's coming at us from Brazil. I want to say.
Oh.
Is that right, Asdrubal? Am I getting that right? Dynamo asks, how do we calculate the 3-bet? It was 1,400 plus a 560 because we're trying to make it 2.5x.
Plus the limps. Nikki
plus
explained
the
it.
open limp.
Thank you, Nikki.
So that was the idea. So 2.5x of 560, I think is 1,400, right? 1120 plus the 280. So yeah, 1,400 is 2.5x, and then so we're doing 2.5x the original open plus the call. That was the plan. Ugh, are we really gonna c-bet against 4 opponents? I don't think so. I think we're gonna just be done with it. Making the fold. Golden Master saying we should have c-bet that ace king. Yeah, I mean, I checked back because I'm not really worried about giving away a lot of free cards, and I kind of feel like we are either we're looking at 6 outs or we're way ahead to be C. McClaw having 3 outs. And then when you check the turn, I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable with my hand. But then when the queen hits and he fires out 60% of the pot, now I'm not. So it was a tough one. I don't know. The problem is checking back on the turn kind of induces him to bluff. It's a tough one, and I don't know that it was the right move.
Hi, Poopy. Uh-oh, I have to play with my dog. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to play
Sounds
with
like
the
the
dog.
chat's kind of mixed, too. I think that I probably should have just went with the continuation bet. That's probably the thing to do. It just felt like we were setting ourselves up for a check raise on that flop. Yeah. I would have felt better about firing out a continuation bet and folding to a check raise, though, than I felt about the way that we played it, checking back, checking the turn, and then folding the river. That felt wrong. It felt wrong for sure. So it's a tough one. And Nikki 2 cards. I agree. Waffle says, anyone else losing sound on Poker Stars randomly sometimes? And Nikki 2 cards says, a lot of us wish we could have that problem. All in good time, man. They're coming. Eventually. They're coming. Wow. I gotta say, Polarize, those Nanonoko emoticons are great. Those are great emoticons. I love them. maybe the best emoticons I've seen. I might have to subscribe just for his emoticons. Okay, making the call against Soren. 8-7 offsuit. Hitting the 8. Check raising, I suppose. Check raising and under the gun raise. Yeah, 2.5x, which is about there. About there, a little less than there. It's okay, we'll go there. And what do we do if Soren makes the shove? Are we going to just say automatically that he's got better than a pair of 8s? I don't know what we do. I don't know what we're doing.
Maybe you're tired, Dutch. You feeling tired?
Yeah.
You feeling okay? We did get up at 6 in the morning.
I am tired. I wanted to take a nap before the flop. Or
before the flop?
Before the stream.
No naps. We work.
That's what she said. That's exactly how she said it, too.
We have plenty of sleep when we die.
Well, she didn't say that part.
Hey, Bony Fish and Cloud Orchestra. I had
to see you guys.
Yeah, no, it's good, dude.
Cactus Cooler making
maybe tomorrow you have time to
making
sleep.
Fold.
Tomorrow you'll have time to naps.
Well, you know how we play F-Link. I mean, we're always doing that C-bet. We're always making the C-bet.
So you didn't make a C-bet?
And I didn't make the C-bet when it came out 9 high and we had ace-king.
Oh, that's bad.
Is it? Yeah. I didn't really feel like we were too worried about giving away a free card. I felt like we were up against ace-queen, ace-jack.
Yeah, but you lose your control there, dude.
And it felt like we were, the flop was so dry that it felt like we were going to get check raised a good chunk of the time. But I don't know.
Did you forget how to play poker?
I feel like I don't like the way the hand played out. I don't like that. I definitely would have. If I knew how it was gonna play out, I definitely would have preferred just firing out and folding to a check raise. I'm not really happy with how it played out. Or hell, maybe even call it check raise. Maybe say, you know what, Mr. McLaw, you're gonna have to show us better than ace king. Because if we're folding ace king there, like, how small of a pocket pair are we also going to fold? I don't know. You always kind of have to, when you're trying to balance out the right move, you always kind of have to, decide how far you would take it. If you decide that you're going to call, how weak would you call with? And if you decide that you're going to fold, well, how strong would you fold with? Start taking it up a notch and try to figure out what your plan would be with other types of hands that that you'd be facing the same line from your opponents with. Because sometimes it makes it a little bit easier to decide what the right move is. If you're like, oh, I think I'm going to fold jacks here, but there's no way I would fold queens. It's like, well, maybe you shouldn't fold jacks. If you're like, oh, I'm folding 9s here, well, would you fold 10s? No, I wouldn't fold 10s. Well, maybe if you're not folding 10s, maybe you shouldn't fold 9s. Nitch making the raise. Let's play against Nitch. Got some notes on Nitch. He takes some pretty unconventional lines. Oh, I'm not going to get an opportunity. Cactus Cooler making a little bit too big of a shove there. 33 big blinds. Overshipping. I don't like it. So we're going to go ahead and make the raise that we would make 700 plus the open limp. There we are.
Oh, that's a good all-in one. Do you see the nano all-in?
No. It's cute.
Little poker stars all-in.
Okay, firing out the half pot into Ferris and Ronnet. And hopefully one of these guys has like pocket 9s or pocket 10s. And makes the shove. Ha! Wow. Okay, boys, we're not folding. Would we call with Jacks here? I think so. I think that Jacks is about our line. Hopefully they both have like some sort of pocket pair, and we're not looking at a 2-outer. We're looking at a 2-outer. So Ronnet did in fact hit the top set.
Dang.
And our pocket queens goes down the drain. Down the drain. This is it for our tournament. 76 out of 107 players. I don't want to watch the hand history. Pretty ugly. Pretty ugly.
But before we go, I want to... Woodcutter has a question for you. Welcome to the stream, Woodcutter.
It's good to see you, Woodcutter. By the way, guys, make sure to click on the follow. We're going to be back tomorrow at about the same time.
About 7 o'clock.
About 7 o'clock. We've been going at about 7. So make sure to click on that follow button. It's right underneath XMO if you haven't yet. It's a little hard button. It would be really awesome if you would do that.
And or it's above Dutch's head on mobile.
Yeah, if you're watching mobile. And if you're watching on the YouTube,
I'll make sure he takes a nap tomorrow.
Where did this tournament go wrong?
Well, I think that you question your play. You weren't consistent, I suppose, and
I don't know that we can really point at that ace king hand and say that's when it went wrong.
It's little things.
I mean, where it went wrong is that is the queens versus the set. That's the end where it went wrong.
That's right. Yeah,
I think
that's right.
I'm not going to think too hard on it. I mean, Ferris making the raise and then Ronnet making the shove. Is it a fold? If so, are you folding kings? Are you folding aces there? Are you folding a set of sixes there? I don't think so. I mean, I think it's an easy call. We're playing, even in bigger tournaments. I think that you just have to, look at it and realize that there's a lot of hands that Ferris and Ronnet could have where they're going to think that they're ahead on that flop. They don't want to give free cards to, of course, what must be ace king.
And Woodcutter, let's get that question before we.
Okay, let's shut this down. I'm tired of watching these guys win our money. We got Woodcutter asking.
I'm looking to start playing poker a lot more again. So he used to play a lot. Okay.
What do you think would be good goals when starting out with a limited bankroll? For example, making X percentage of final tables or cashing X amount of the time. Yeah. So with a limited bankroll, you're talking about playing tournaments with a limited bankroll. I think going between, when you're playing MTTs, making X percentage of final tables or cashing X amount of the time, you should probably be looking at your in the money percentage more than you should your final table percentage, just because the final table percentage is going to be dependent on how deep the field is. So it's not really going to tell you much unless you're always playing the same type of tournament, unless you always have 200 people or 300 people in your field. You really what you should be looking at is ROI. The problem though is that you're not going to be able to really get those kind of ROI numbers that mean anything until you have a lot of tournaments under your belt to really examine. So I don't really know what to tell you. I don't really have any good advice for what goals you should have. What I would suggest is this: rather than tie your goals to an in the money percentage, which isn't really going to mean much until you're looking long term, and then when you're looking long term, having an in the money percentage somewhere around 18% is probably pretty good. Once it starts getting too high, you're probably giving up equity as far as sacrificing slugging percentage for in the money percentage. So you don't want it to be too high, but it's somewhere around 18 to 23, I think, is probably what you should be striving for. Even 15% is probably not too bad if you're looking at 10% of the fields in the money. But slugging percentage is really what it's all about. So it's kind of a weird question that I'm not really used to answering. Whether you should be paying, you should be paying attention in the money percentage. You should be paying attention to your final table percentage. But the most important percentage you should be looking at is your ROI. The only way that you're going to really be able to get a number that makes sense is after you have a lot of tournaments under your belt, hundreds, maybe even thousands of tournaments under your belt to really get anything meaningful. And with a limited bankroll, that's kind of hard to do. So what I would suggest to you, Woodcutter, is have a goal of events played, maybe. Until you have a goal of playing 100 events at a level that's at a buy-in level that's 1% of your buy-in or 2% of your roll, 1 or 2% of your roll, and don't overextend it. So if you have a limited bankroll of say $100, then I think that a good goal would be to play 100 $1 tournaments, or 100 $2 tournaments. That would probably be a better goal at first where you are right now, rather than paying too much attention to your short-term results, because in the money percentage, final table percentage really isn't going to mean much until you have a lot more of a history underneath your belt. So that's what I would suggest. Stick with goals that aren't so results-oriented, and don't overextend your bankroll. If you want some advice on what you should be playing, well, there's a lot of good bankroll management forums out there where you can type in how much you're starting with and what you're trying to play, and it'll spit out an answer. I also wrote an All In magazine article not too long ago about bankroll management, which I think I can link here in the stream. Let me see. All In bankroll management, Dutch Boyd. Yeah, here it is. Let me see if it's up. All In magazine was down for a little while. Is it up? Yeah, here we are. So I'm going to go ahead and link that in the stream. If you guys are watching on the YouTube channel, you can just do a Google search for All In magazine, Dutch Boyd bankroll management. You can find the link. So there is the link for you, Woodcutter, and I wish you the best of luck as you get back into the poker grind. And hopefully we're not going to let ourselves down this weekend. We're going to take down an event. I feel it. I'm in the mood for some pepperoni pizza. So guys, join us tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday. We're going to be back all weekend. We're going to be putting up some big numbers. I feel it.
Hey,
Thank you guys so much for hanging out.
Do you think
with
I
us
can
tonight.
shoot my bubble gun if you make a bubble?
No.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, good. Then I will be here.
You guys are the best. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow night. Hopefully we won't be checking back the flops with any more ace kings. No more folds against poker prudences.
Did you look at it?
Squeeze plays with our pocket jacks. No more of that. Tomorrow we are we're going
aggressive.
Big, we're going home.
We're going aggressive.
We're going to be making some really aggressive calls.
We got to think about our issues today, and we have to reinvent ourselves.
We have
tomorrow.
to reinvent ourselves. Yeah, today did not really go as planned.
But it's Monday.
It's the Poker Players Monday.
It's our Monday, so hey.
You know what? I don't really feel bad about going out with the queens. And the Jack 10 versus Queen 7 hand, there's a lot more combinations of busted flush draws than there are Jack 10s. You're looking at 8 combinations of Jack 10. You're looking at hundreds of combinations of busted flush draws. So I don't really hate the call there. It's one or the other, basically. We're looking at that thing, okay, he either has Jack 10 or a busted flush. What's it going to be? Hopefully we're seeing a busted flush draw and not the Jack 10. Oh, no, he has the Jack 10. So I don't really hate that one. I don't hate the way that we went out. I don't love it, though. I think that we probably could have found a fold there. The queens, I don't hate. I think that we're calling that all day. The ace-king hand, which wasn't really that big of a part of our stack, though. I just can't get it out of my head.
I know.
It's kind of an inconsequential pot, but I still just I hate the way we played it, and I'm not really sure where we should have where we should have made the bet. But if we're not going to bet on the flop and we're not going to bet on the turn, then we probably should call on the river. That's kind of what I'm thinking. It's like I don't hate the check back on the flop if you're calling the turn and the river bet, because the check back is going to kind of induce bluffs. But I sure don't like folding the river if I check the flop and the turn, and that one's gonna eat at me for about another 7 minutes. But a big part of poker is forgetting about what just happened. So if you can't learn from it, then not much point in obsessing over it. And that I'm talking directly to you on that one, Thug Life, because you're not really going to learn anything from that pocket aces hand to the queen 10. Hey guys, thanks so much. And hey, Waffle, I'll try to go over that. I'll try to go over that hand history that you had in that Boom player sometime this weekend. Just remind me, okay? I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for joining us. See you tomorrow, hopefully. If not,
you will see us tomorrow.
Well, we'll be here. I hope that you'll be here. I hope that you'll be here.
Yes, if you miss us, there's always the replay. So
that's right. Okay, see you guys later. Thanks a lot.